Ciao and welcome back to our course, Italian for Beginners, which is for people who have never done any Italian or they are just at the beginning of their studies. Obviously, these videos are also helpful if you want to revise certain rules. Right, so this is still lesson 7, third and last part, lezione 7, terza parte, where we're going to see, we're still looking at the alphabet and the pronunciation. So we're going to see the last couple of letters and combination of letters that make certain sounds. So let's go immediately and look at our page that I have prepared. Right, so at the top, we still have our alphabet, and today we are going to see two letters that they actually are the ones that cause most difficulties when pronouncing and reading and writing as well. So the two letters are C and G. They're actually quite similar. I've made a little table essay on how to pronounce them, how to write certain pronunciations, certain sounds, and we'll see that they are very, very similar on the way we write them. Let's start with the letter G. And for the letter G, which is pronounced in Italian as well, G, we have two sounds. One is the hard sound, G. I have written it here. I have written the sound, which is not phonetics, just the sound, in these square brackets. This is the sound G, and this is the sound J. So how do we write the sound G followed by each of the vowels, which I have put in order? So this is how we write the sound G, followed by the vowels A, E, I, O, U. And next to the sounds, I've also written a word so we can see the actual combination of letters in a word that is, I'm sure you you have you have heard or read or seen before. Or there are words that can be useful anyway to have in your vocabulary. So this is ga, ge, gi, go, gu. So as you can see, we have a H here. The H, or H in Italian, is a silent letter. We use it, in fact, we don't really have, apart from one verb, we don't have Italian words starting with a H. And because it's normally silent, Italians don't actually pronounce it often. They tend not to pronounce it. And very often, I'm sure you've heard Italians saying hello instead of hello. How are you? No H. Because, as I said, in Italian, there aren't really words apart from one verb that starts with a H, and when we have it, we do not pronounce it. For example, we use the word for hotel, but in Italian is pronounced hotel without the H. It is silent. So the H is used to make certain sounds instead in a combination of letters in order to make a specific sound. So in this case, the specific sound is the hard G. So as examples, these examples are useful for you to associate the sound to a word that you can, as I said, you probably know already, or you can memorize and put this combination of letters in a context. So here for Ga, we have Garda, which is a lake. Many of you have probably heard of it, Lake Garda or Lago di Garda. Then we have Ghe, which is Ghe. I've written spaghetti. I'm sure everybody knows spaghetti. Nobody really necessarily goes and writes the word spaghetti, but we do know what spaghetti are. And then we have Ghi. The words that I've chosen is laghi, which is lakes, plural. And then we have go, which is lago, singular. And then we have gu, and the word that probably many of you know is gusto, which is taste or flavor. As you can see, probably this ga, go, and gu are not too difficult to read when you see them. These ge and gi are the ones who maybe can cause be more difficulty. I think it's probably more difficult to when you hear it and you want to write it instead of when you see it and you read it. It is like most things, really. It is just a practice. Let's see instead, how do we do the sound j? Again, followed by each of the vowels. So we are using, as you can see, most of the times the letter I, which I've mentioned before, the letter I, in order to make the soft sound j. So the letter I, or in Italian I, is not pronounced. So here we have giacca. This is giacca, which is a jacket. We have ge, and think about gelato. Everybody knows what a gelato is. We have G, an example of the in a word is giro. Giro is a little tour, a little walk as well. Gio, so not gio, but gio. Giocare is a verb, it means to play. And giù, Giu. And I've chosen a word, giù, which is actually with an accent, not an apostrophe. Giù, which means down or under or downstairs as well. So these are words that, as I said, can be part of your vocabulary. So this is very important. Look exactly how they are spelled, how they are written. And it's very useful to associate these sounds, the way they are written, to words that you already know, or words that you use usually, more often, more commonly. So you memorize the actual spelling of them. Right, this is the letter G. Let's come to the letter C, which in Italian is C. Exactly in the same way, this letter has two sounds, the hard sound K and the soft sound Ch. I have done exactly the same thing. So each sound with each of the vowels with an example next to it. So you can associate these sounds, the way it's written, with a word that you probably already know or is part of the basic vocabulary. So we have ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. So an example for each of these sounds: ka for casa, which is home or house. Ke in itself is a word, it means what. Also the word anche, also. Chi also is a word in itself, it means who. Otherwise, chiesa, which is a church. Co, there are many words with co, but I've chosen a word that we have seen already in these lessons, and I'm sure is one of the first words that you learn. Cosa, in che cosa, which means what, again. And then cu, and the words I've chosen is cucina. Cucina is kitchen and also cuisine. So here you can see again the letter H, which is silent in itself, but it helps to make the sound, the hard sound K. Only remember, exactly like the letter G, let's see. Can you see so the letter G and the letter C, followed by the vowels in Italian E and E, or in English E and I, exactly the same here. So only with these two vowels, we use the H in order to make the hard sound. Here we have ge, gi, and here we have ke, ki. So this is the function of the letter H, or H in Italian. Now let's come to this side. How do we write the sound ch followed by each of the vowels? So here we have cha, che, chi, cho, and chu. An example for each of these sounds: ciao, which everybody knows. So, and I've seen the word ciao spelled wrongly, I have to say. But there is no excuse for this. Let's learn how to write ciao, C-I-A-O. And so once you learn how to write ciao, then you have to um, um, really memorize how it's written, but then apply that combination of letters to other words. There are obviously many other words with these sounds. I've just chosen a few. The sound che, I've chosen the instrument cello because it is written exactly the same way in Italian and in English, and it is also pronounced in the same way, cello. The sound C, I've taken exactly the same word, cucina, which is kitchen or cuisine, you can see C. But also think about cappuccino, has the same sound and spelling, CI. Think about famous names like Al Pacino, CI. Nobody has ever seen this name and wanted to say Al Pacino. Is C-I-C. Also Leonardo da Vinci, CI again. So associate these sounds, this spelling to other words as well. The sound ciò, chosen cioccolato, and chew, not many words really with chew. I've chosen just in order to see this combination inside a word. I've chosen acciuga, which is an anchovy. All is food really. So this again, it's a little bit, it's up to you. Again, everybody learns in different ways. Do you want to memorize the combination of letters? Do you want to memorize instead the words, associate the combination of letters to words that you know already? Um, um, so see what works best. As I said, these two combinations really, they can and they do cause a little problems more, as I said, when you want to write it yourself than when you are reading it. Although both things can happen. Now, what I want to do with this, I'm going to maybe make a little mess here, but there is another sound that actually works really well here. I'm trying to keep this. So what happens only in the case of the C, the letter C, what happens if to these combinations of letters we add the letter S? Now let's try and so if we add the letter S in front of this, what happens? If we add the letter S here, so here we are, again, we have the sound, the hard sound K. So if we add the S in front of this, we still keep the sound, the hard sound K, only with the letter S. So this would be ska, for example, pesca, which is a peach. Ske, we have actually pesche, peaches. Ski, sco, school. If instead we add an S to the soft sound ch, let's see what we end up with. So the soft sound ch, if we add an S before this combination of letters, we have the sound sh. But we're going to change it here. This is just a sound. So this is sha, she, she, sho, and shu. So it's this how we write the sound sh. So this is just a sound, it's not phonetics. So the sound sh is basically an S before the combination of letters that makes the sound ch. Again, you can either see them as I'm explaining them to you, which is a little bit more I've taken it all out, all apart, and you're seeing exactly what's happening, or you just memorize the whole combination of letters and you apply it to a word that you know. Everybody has different ways of making sense of things. In fact, there's something that I'm going to take this opportunity. It's something that always causes confusion. I'm going to, in fact, I'll write it here. An example that I've mentioned with a peach, for example, peaches, the fruit, pesche. And then on this side, instead, I'm going to write pesce. So these two words often it confuses people. So pesche is peaches and pesce is fish. So how to remember which one is which? One way to think of it is in English also when the word peaches has an H. Instead, for the word for fish, we have exactly the same sound, fish in English and pesce in Italian. This helps more to recognize which one is which. Is it pesche or is it pesce? It doesn't necessarily help you how to write it. But as I said, I mentioned this because it happens quite often. Right, I hope this was not confusing and helpful. So this was our last part 3, terza parte of lesson 7, lezione 7, where we talked about the alphabet and pronunciation and sounds. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you very much again for subscribing, liking, watching the videos, sharing them, and leaving comments. And by the way, one comment, I was talking about spelling, the word for spelling that we don't have in Italian. And somebody suggested the word ortografia. Ortografia, yes, when, for example, we in Italian, you make a spelling mistake when you're writing and there is a spelling mistake, then that is errore di ortografia. there is a spelling mistake for whatever reason. However, orthography does not cover the word for to spell. As I said, it's just a concept that in Italian does not really exist. There is no need for it to ask, how do you spell something? How do you write something? That's what we would say. How do you write it? Come si scrive? But thanks very much for the comments, I was saying. Right, so this is the end of, finally, lesson 7. And I will see you next time for lesson 8, lezione 8. So I will see you there. Bye bye for now. Ciao.